Hello everyone, welcome from Math by Chang channel. Today we're gonna learn about the basic mathematic contents such as real number, intervals, inequalities, and absolute values. So let's look about real number. Okay, here I have listed some general real numbers such as natural number, whole number, integer, rational, and irrational. Okay, let's look the first three. So here the diagram shows the briefly about integers, natural, and whole numbers. So integers is, as we can see, including minus, 0, and all positive integers. And natural number starts with 1 and it goes towards all positive integers, and the whole number starts from 0 and it goes to the positive integers. So this is the briefly diagram showing integers, natural numbers, and whole numbers. And let's look at rational numbers and irrational numbers. So what is rational numbers? Rational number is ratios of integers in the form n by n. So we have to notice that the denominator n thus must not equal to 0 because we can't define if the denominator is 0. So ratios of integers, we all know that integers include minus to 0 and all positive integers. So let's have some examples. Minus 3 by 2, this is also rational numbers. And 1 by 2, we all know that this is also rational numbers. And like 5, for example. Okay, actually 5 in the denominator it has 1, but we just write as 5. So like this, that kind of positive integers are also rational numbers. So let's look irrational numbers. Irrational number is we can't write in the form n by n. So let's look root 2, pi, e, and sine 1 degree. These are the rational numbers. We can't write them in fraction n by n. So let's look the difference between rational and irrational numbers. So it's simple. Rational numbers have decimal notation with terminate or repeat, but irrational have do not terminate or do not repeat. So let's look at examples. So like 1 by 2, we have 0.5, so this is terminate. 1 by 8, 0.125, and it's also terminate. So we can call these rational numbers. And there are some numbers like 1 by 3, fraction like 1 by 3. When we divide that, we get 0.333, repeating 3, right? So when the numbers are terminate, or when the decimal notation terminate, it is also rational. And when it is not terminate but repeating, it's also rational numbers. Okay, so let's look into irrational number. Irrational numbers also have decimal notation that do not terminate or do not repeat. Like for example, root 2. The value of root 2 is this 1.4142135, and in the behind it has more also many left numbers. So what we need to know is irrational numbers are the values of irrational numbers are do not terminate and also do not repeat. Okay, so it's a simple. Irrational numbers are the numbers that do not terminate or do not repeat. Okay, so that's the difference between rational and irrational numbers. So let's look the number line. So we can also say that real numbers are the numbers that we can express within a number line. Like for example, pi, we all see. And here is pi. The value of pi is 3.14 approximately. So here is 3.1, and beside 3.1, the value of pi exists. And root 2, we all know the 1.414, and here is 1.5. So it exists before 1.5. And also 1 by 2 exists between 0 and 1, and also the minus value exists at the minus side. So real numbers are the numbers which we can express in a real number or in the number lines, and the denominator of real numbers cannot be equal to 0. So I have included the topics such as natural number, whole numbers, integers, irrational and rational numbers. So if you have any question to ask about that topic, feel free to ask me on the comment box, and see you in next week. Thank you.